Welcome to another episode of the MH Energy Exchange. I'm here today with Karl Johnson. He's a manager of Petroleum at Ohio Cat. Karl, I've heard you speak a number of times about the shale phenomena and always learn something. Maybe just start out, and if we think about the shale phenomena as something that's been occurring over the last 7 or 8 years, tell us where the high point was and tell us where we are today.
Certainly. Roughly 5-6 years ago, when the drilling activity started, we saw E&P companies that had some confidence in the science. They knew the product was in the ground, so they would drill a well. They get a permit and they drill a well, complete the well, check the flow, and then try to sell the product. As that developed over a larger geographic area and was repeated, updated with technological advancements, they realized that the play in southeastern Ohio and southwest Pennsylvania was world class. The economics were there to make.
So that was 2012?
2012.
Okay.
To make a significant investment into the future of it, that there'd be a return. Prices were at a very high level at that point in time. As the drilling and fracking in the United States expanded dramatically, supply overcame demand. Prices dropped to a point where in 2015, the industry slid downhill. Production slowed down, E&P work slowed down, and everything other than necessary investments and expenditures stopped. We saw bankruptcies go up dramatically. Last year, being 2016, was probably the low point in the last 6-7 years in Appalachia for the petroleum industry, for oil and natural gas.
And you saw that directly at Ohio Cat?
Yeah, we saw our sales to an industry make a rapid increase until roughly sometime 2015. Then it fell off rapidly, and now it is certainly ramping back up at a very aggressive pace with the infrastructure being built, the pipelines. When you look at the investment in pipelines in Appalachia in this year and next year, you're looking at private funding of over $20 billion just in pipelines to move the product away from this area to a customer that will pay you for your product, basic commodities.
And your business opportunity, is it more upstream with the E&Ps, or is it midstream with pipeline companies, or is it someplace
We're
else?
fortunate, we get all three. We work with the E&P companies when they come in on the well sites, the horsepower that's needed, the fracking components that are needed, certainly in the midstream for pipeline infrastructure and that build out. The Caterpillar Goods and Services are the preferred provider to the industry. Downstream for us, for example, we'd look at the possibility of the cracker plant being built in Ohio. $10 billion in economic investment in an area of roughly 50 square miles.
Well, we're going to talk about the cracker,
Okay.
but before we do, so just to sum it up, right now in May of 2017, are you looking at new highs as far as sales into the industry, or do we still have a ways to go for Ohio Cat to reach new highs?
On a monthly basis, we're at an all-time high. I expect that number to actually increase as this year continues.
Okay, that's a good place to stop for this one because we only had a few minutes.
Okay.
But thank you for being with us on the MH Energy Exchange.
Thank
you
you
for joining us.